It's what we will possibly see with Napoleon, the new movie coming out. By the way, same director as Gladiator. To go full circle in our discussion. So, have you seen the trailer?
I have, yeah, seen the trailer.
The oldest one, or like the most recent ones, or
Um, I
they have
remember.
like
Okay, so
multiple trailers.
yeah, because I remember he's speaking to, I guess, Josephine in like some ball, some fancy
Oh
ball,
yeah, okay.
and then there's the bit where he's shooting at the pyramids.
Oh Lord,
Is
yeah,
that in
don't
that I've
don't
seen
get me.
that whatever trailer that
That's the
is?
first one.
That's the one I've seen. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh Christ. Okay, so as I have probably mentioned before, Napoleon Bonaparte is my favorite historical figure, straight up. With Abraham Lincoln. I know big opposites, but Napoleon Bonaparte. Um, I may not know everything about Napoleon Bonaparte, but I do my best to remember a lot. Okay, because I genuinely really love his significance and his moments in history. And I even did a video about him not being actually that short. I'm not sure if you knew that. Anyway, um,
Yeah,
he's actually 5'6". That was average height back then. Um,
right.
but oh god, like okay, if the creators of Henry V want to say it was 800 years ago, like we don't have all the details. All right, okay, like okay, I'll let it go, but yeah, it shouldn't. But okay, fine. Napoleon, that was 200 years ago. Like everything's there. Like, everything's reported. Okay,
Mm.
so um, I believe the director of Gladiator is British. I believe he's British. And I believe they said he brought in British historians to the film to talk about the film. So a little bit people don't know about that I know about. I don't know about you if you know, but is that British historians generally paint Napoleon as a horrible person and said he's like the worst, you know, worst person in history, all these things. So I think that's why in the trailer you see him shooting the pyramids. Okay, because I'm sure from
Mm.
some 200-year-old source they probably said something like he is such a bad guy. He shot the freaking pyramids, right? Um, which is ridiculous. There is no record of him shooting the pyramids.
I
Um,
have to admit, before this trailer and before you told me about it, I'd never heard that
exactly.
rumor.
Okay, exactly. Ironically,
I,
okay,
sorry,
go
can I
on. Yeah,
just say? I'm sure there was something about it was meant to be there was a rumor. I mean, it's not true as well that with the Sphinx, they were saying the
that he shot
nose
the
of the
nose off.
Sphinx.
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say that
Yeah,
there's the rumor he shot the nose off, but it's like there's no,
right.
you don't see the cannon, whatever, like the damages, and it's just like, duh. Why would he, you know, like,
And I
how is that
think
even
it's like there's
possible?
some medieval text that describes it as not having a nose or something like that. So
Oh, it
already
hasn't had
back
a
then,
nose for a long
yeah,
time. Right, right, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, right.
Um, but it's just so ridiculous, and like I don't even know. Can cannons even move up that high? Like, can they shoot that high? I don't know. Like, can they shoot the pyramids are 200 feet tall, 300 feet or something.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see in the film how they managed to portray this
Well, in the
as,
trailer, just shoot the
you
top of
know,
it. I'm like, can it even go
oh,
that
really?
high?
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so it's
Yeah.
it's my issue with like all these things I see in the trailer, and it's just like it's like Gladiator 2.0. Like it shows multiple times. Okay, I'll say this part before I
But
say
even
the
worse
main.
in a sense because Napoleon, as we've discussed before, it's like Napoleon's the effect he's had on modern history is very impactful in a way that
Yes,
communist wasn't. And there is that kind of because it ties in like colonialism and like revolution and all these kind of things.
there's
And
too
it's like,
much to
well,
connect them with. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
but it's like so people do kind of still debate his legacy, good or
Yes,
bad.
yes.
And so to have a film like that, which is portraying things, it's not like before each scene they're like, we've heard this might have happened, and this person has
Right,
recorded
right,
it this way.
right.
It's just portray. So audiences will look at that and be like, oh, so Napoleon tried to destroy the pyramids. He was like the ISIS,
So
basically,
so
of the 19th century.
So I'll say
Essentially,
this,
what they
okay?
did.
I spoke to a follower of mine, and he actually like DM'd me. We are just chatting about history, and he was like, "Oh, like, are you excited about the Napoleon movie?" And I
Mm.
literally was like, "No." He's like, "Why not?" I was like, "Did you not notice all the inaccuracies?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't know that about Napoleon." I was like, "It's completely inaccurate." And he was like, "Oh man, that sucks. I didn't know that." I was like, "Yeah." So
Yeah.
let me just quickly say some of the inaccuracies I noticed. So I don't know if that woman in the trailer that's being beheaded at the guillotine, I don't know if that's supposed to be Marie Antoinette. But she had like yellow hair, frizzy hair, and like was wearing like those like tradition like those like royal gowns. That I assumed was Marie Antoinette. I might be wrong. They showed Napoleon there. Napoleon was never there. Like Napoleon wasn't even in Paris at that time when the guillotine of Marie Antoinette happened. Okay, that was like the 1790s or late 1780s. No, he wasn't even there. Okay, he was too young. Anyway, the other inaccuracies too I saw was, or multiple times was he's charging into battle, slashing people left and right with a saber.
Mm.
Napoleon never went to battle, slashing people.
Mm.
There are reasons why you don't do that because though traditional line warfare, you're not supposed to shoot officers or generals. But if you're the heat of battle, you might get shot. Like that's why you would not sacrifice the emperor to go
Mm.
into battle head first in the trailer. I was
I
like,
mean, do you have any
oh,
idea when? I mean, we can sort of guess, but I wonder. I do wonder when the
I don't
last.
know when they stopped doing that. But like, did George Washington charge into battle? Of course not. The guy's like 50.
Well, even like early modern, like Henry, the Tudors, or
Probably
they
not.
didn't.
Like,
No.
I mean, I know. I did a video about it recently. Gustavus Adolphus in the 1600s, in the 30 Years' War, he died in battle. Maybe from those experiences, they're like, okay, let's not send the monarch in. Okay. Anyway, that's
But
one thing.
do you know what the last battle fought on British soil was?
No.
It was the Battle of Culloden, which in the year was 1714, something like that. And it was
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay. Sorry.
one of
Okay.
the sons of the king um, led the battle. But when I say led, I meant on a hilltop,
But he got
telling
killed. I'm
people how
guessing.
to move. No, no, he wasn't killed.
Oh, okay.
No, the point I'm making is that he was far, very far away from the actual
Yes.
battle itself. So this idea that then 100 years after that, you're going to have Napoleon charging into battle
Charging.
is pretty
So,
absurd. Yeah.
so the other inaccuracy I saw was like there's this famous moment in history in Napoleon's history where he takes over the Senate, and then later on Roman Senate the French Senate basically votes him to become consul, uh, and they remove the directory, three-man directory, and he basically becomes the consul. In the trailer, he points muskets at the guys at the Senate. I'm guessing it's the senators because it just shows him pointing muskets, and then he was like, "Shall we vote?" And I'm like, "Vote on what? Like that never happened." Like that's ridiculous. Like that was there a planned Napoleon coup where he took over the directory? Absolutely, and there's a lot of evidence for that, and I'm not denying he did that. But did he just point guns at the senators? No, he didn't. Yes, soldiers went in to remove the senators that were getting pissed off at Napoleon's brother, who was the head of the Senate. But he never came in with guns blazing and like, shall we vote? Like cinematic, right? Anyway, the other thing, um, the small thing I wanted to mention was Napoleon in the trailer. He's like wearing a hat like 85% of the time. It's like, okay, I get it. He has that. He's famous for the tricolor, the tree. What do they call it? The hat. That hat. It's like, does he wear 24/7? He was wearing in a party in the event. So in the trailer, I was like, he's like the only one. He's the only one wearing a hat, and I'm like, why is he wearing a hat? And then in the trailer, he meets Josephine, who's future wife, and she's just like, hey, what's your name? And he's like, General Napoleon Bonaparte. It's like, oh Lord. It's like, oh
It's
come
like it
on.
shows him like getting in the bath, like wearing the hat, like going into bed,
And then he goes
wearing
into
the
battle
hat.
without a hat. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
look at that. Look at that
Mind
switch on
blown.
us.
Yeah,
No, but I also
didn't
wanted to
expect
say
that.
some people might comment and be like, well, Napoleon did go into battle. Yes, one time. I believe it's the Battle of Arcole or Rivoli Arcole, where he charged a bridge because one of his lieutenants gets killed while charging with the French flag, and he's like, "We got to push across this bridge, and we gotta defeat the Austrians. They have cannons. They're shooting grape shot, crazy. They're musket fire." He picks up the flag and charges. Even some people are saying that's a little bit much. Okay, but he charges, and then he basically, they push the Austrians out. And if you go to certain museums, I've never been to these museums, but I've seen it. If you go to these museums, they will show you like Napoleon's clothing, and it has bullet holes from that battle. And at that point, Napoleon was like, "Okay, I need to stop." And I get it. Maybe these British historians or the director is going to say like, "Well, Napoleon's had many horses shot under him." It's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean he charged into battle. Like bullets will fly left and right in these kind of battles. It's not like Napoleon's like 2 miles away. He's obviously considerably closer than those generals were, but it's just like it's ridiculous. Okay. Um. But yeah,
I
that's
mean, I
yeah,
think one of the reasons why that whole notion of a general charging into battle became pretty defunct is because of professional armies. Like the concept of a professional army
yeah,
is that you go into battle not based on the charisma of your lord or general or whomever. You're doing
yeah.
it because it's like you're being paid to, and that's your job kind of thing. And I think yeah, so probably like the early modern period when professional armies sort of started and you had mercenaries and whatnot.
I believe they said the
Um,
first the first king to have a true modern army, and actually this king did not go into battle, was Louis XIV. Like he actually had a standing army within peacetime, and that was like an unprecedented thing. Well, I'm sorry, like a massive army, during peacetime, and that was very
right.
unprecedented during periods of peace in that period, and that was almost 100 years before Napoleon, almost. Um, and then Frederick the Great improved upon that. But I want to say one more thing I forgot to say. In regards to Napoleon in Egypt, a lot of people. So with the trailer, you're just shooting the pyramids, it's ridiculous. Okay, but many people won't know Napoleon was extremely in regards to the historical sites, the posterity of things. He was very respectful with it. Like
Definitely.
I don't know. It said he famously cried at the statue of Alexander the Great because he kept saying, "Oh, if only I could be as great as you at the age of 25 or whatever. Like if only I was half as great as you." He like prostrated and cried at it supposedly. Um, but come on, shooting the pyramids. He just his
Well, they
team
brought in
discovered the Rosetta Stone. Like
yeah, they
okay,
brought all those
explorers,
what would you
those archaeologists,
archaeologists
all of them,
and
yeah, scientists,
scientists,
archaeologists,
yeah,
yeah. He it
mathematicians,
was
yeah.
it was it was one of the greatest like scientific expeditions ever in modern history, you could say. And yeah, so for him to shoot the pyramids, it's like, come on, dude, that's okay.